Hey, it's Brenda from brendaturner.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about autoimmunity, and I'm going to help you to put your autoimmune issues into remission and either get rid of your symptoms, make your symptoms a whole lot better, or turn the whole bus around and get you, like I said, into remission. In 2016, I developed my first bout of autoimmune issues. I'd actually been suffering from autoimmune issues my whole adult life. I just didn't know it until I had the overt symptoms of a big patch of hair loss coming out of my head called alopecia areata. I also had symptoms of lupus, and I tested positive for lupus. And that was a blessing in disguise. It led me on a path of, I was already a nutritionist, and this led me on a path of nutritional therapy with food. So I battled with alopecia areata as the spot grew bigger and bigger. A lot of you guys know this story already, but I'm gonna share it for those of you who don't. My spot got bigger and bigger to the size of a softball, and my symptoms of lupus persisted until I found a series of things to help heal my system, to help my system finally settle. And what I learned is that autoimmunity is not a curse. It's not something that we get struck with randomly, that we're just stuck with for the rest of our lives. I also learned that doctors, while they are phenomenal at symptom management, and their hearts are always in a very good place, most doctors, probably 85% of doctors, aren't equipped with the knowledge to help heal autoimmunity at the root cause. And so the series that I'm doing right now this is part of a series. I want to give you all the tools that you need to start healing your autoimmune issues today. All the things that I'm going to share with you are they're backed by scientific literature, or they're backed by personal experience. They're backed by personal direct experience. I'm going to start the series off with a very important lever of diet. And I want to give you the tools today to start changing your life, getting your symptoms in control, and start the healing process. And we do that first and foremost with diet. This is the first step, because when you start changing the way that you eat, you're gonna start changing the way that you feel. Then you'll be able to start making the lifestyle changes that you need to make and the mindset changes that you need to make. So here's the very important, very, very crucial component of healing your autoimmune issues, is understanding what autoimmunity is. Autoimmunity is not a disease. And I know that sounds crazy, but I now see autoimmunity as a symptom. And I don't care what your autoimmune symptom is. I don't care if you want to call it vitiligo, alopecia areata, multiple sclerosis, lupus, psoriasis, it doesn't matter. All of it is the same thing, and all of it is a symptom of an inharmonious system in the body. Autoimmunity is a symptom of disharmony in the body. That's what autoimmunity is. So it's not a disease. We can start from that point. When we start from that trailhead, then we're actually on the right path. What autoimmunity is a symptom of, first and foremost, is intestinal permeability. This is a huge shocker, because the Western medical model treats autoimmunity as just random, poor you. We don't know why you got it. You're stuck with it forever. But in truth, in actuality, a huge component of 100% of cases of autoimmunity is you've got intestinal permeability. Intestinal permeability is the number one contributing cofactor. It's always present in autoimmunity. So what does this mean? I'm going to demonstrate really quick, and you'll see this on my website. I've got this on my website on the free lesson for a course I just released, but I'll tell you more about later. Basically, you have an intestinal system, and it looks like this. So let my fingers represent your intestinal villi. Those are the protuberances in your intestinal system that digest your food. But if we have an intestinal system that is compromised, if we're eating foods that are not in harmony with our bodies, which I'll go into here in a minute, we get intestinal permeability. We get leaky gut. We get things starting to happen where your epithelial layer and your tight junctions in your digestive system, they start opening up. And the food you eat gets into your bloodstream now. And now you got food in your bloodstream, and it's triggering an immune response. And your immune response, it's saying attack, attack, and then it starts attacking everything. And then the friendly fire happens, and your own tissues are attacked. There's some other components to autoimmunity, and I'm going to cover those throughout the series as I talk about autoimmunity in future videos in this series, but that's more or less the long and short of it. So what do we do with this information? I'll tell you what we do with this information. When I was at the height of my autoimmune issues, when I had brain fog, depression, fatigue, anxiety, a growing patch of hair loss the size of a softball, when I had crippling panic because the nervous system dysregulation that happens with lupus, it's crippling, it's terrible. So I had a whole bunch of stuff, and what I would have loved to have access to at that point is what I'm about to tell you. So if you're going through some really bad symptoms, listen up. This is going to change your life. The minute I started doing these things, my symptoms started clearing up. It didn't take long. So we have to stop eating things that irritate our system. And I'm gonna give you a list today that might bum you out a little bit. However, this list is also going to help your digestive system to heal and to tighten those tight junctions so that your immune system gets a break and your digestive system gets to heal. And the diet I'm about to talk to you about is called AIP. And I want to break down this diet for you so that it's not a mystery. You know, this is not just throwing darts in the dark and hoping something works, and throwing darts in the dark and just saying, okay, we're gonna take away every single thing and just not eat it. The AIP diet is so elegant and so beautiful and so fantastic for healing because it's actually there's so much logic and science behind it. I'm not gonna bog you down with the science, but we are gonna go into a little bit so that you understand why you're not eating certain things that you used to eat every single day. So first things first, the biggest food group that we need to eliminate, the top priority, is grains and dairy. Grains and dairy are highly inflammatory to our system. Grains and dairy have compounds that are immune stimulating. They stimulate the immune system. They also have compounds that are irritating to the digestive system. A lot of people who have autoimmune issues are very likely to be intolerant to dairy. So if you have an autoimmune issue, you've got certain genetics that have set you up to be kind of sensitive. Dairy mimics gluten for some individuals. There's a very similar aspect of dairy and gluten for a lot of individuals. The next thing we're gonna eliminate are nightshades. We're eliminating nightshades like tomatoes, bell peppers, white potatoes, and eggplants. We're eliminating those nightshades because those nightshades have lectins that aren't cooked away. They aren't degraded by the cooking process, and also nightshades have compounds that are immune stimulating. There's a compound in tomatoes called LEA, and LEA is used in vaccines to stimulate immune systems. Also, LEA crosses the epithelial layer. That's that layer we were talking about in your digestive system. So tomatoes get across the gut barrier, and they carry along with them not just the LEA, but whatever else you were eating with your food. Another thing we're gonna eliminate are nuts. We have to get rid of nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are a potential allergen and irritant. They're also high in phytic acid. So phytic acid is irritating to the digestive system. Getting the digestive system healed up is kind of the name of the game. So we're gonna eliminate nuts and seeds. The next thing we're gonna eliminate are eggs. Eggs are highly allergenic. Eggs are a health food for a lot of people. Many people can eat eggs with no problem. But if you have autoimmune issues, it's time to eliminate eggs just for a time to see how you do, to see if you feel any better. Eggs have lectins. Eggs also have something called lysozyme. Lysozyme is a very unique kind of compound that crosses the epithelial layer and that stimulates the immune system. It's also highly irritating for people with autoimmune issues. The next thing we're going to be eliminating is gums and thickeners. Gums and thickeners are terrible for the digestive system. So this is things like guar gum, xanthan gum, carrageenan. Gums and thickeners are put in foods by manufacturers to make them thicker, to make them more palatable, to make them easier to eat because we want to have yogurt that's creamy and thick, right? But most yogurts, the cheap yogurts, are filled with xanthan gum and carrageenan and guar gum, and those gums and thickeners get onto our digestive system and they inhibit our enzymes. So our enzymes are no longer being released. They're digestive enzymes that your body naturally produces to help you to aid digestion. They're not released anymore. When you eat gums, they're inhibited, and then the food sits in your digestive system and kind of rots and creates a disharmonious environment. Not great for healing, so we're gonna eliminate gums and thickeners. The last thing that we're gonna eliminate are beans/legumes. Beans and legumes are highly irritating to the digestive system for a lot of people. These also have digestive inhibitors, digestive enzyme inhibitors, amylase and protease inhibitors. So we're eliminating things like black beans, chickpeas, snow peas, snap peas, green beans. Those are all legumes or pods. And so we eliminate those. So I know the list that I just gave you is a bummer. I understand, I know that. And I know a lot of people come to me and say, you know, this doesn't feel fair. But I also want to give you not just what you're not going to be eating, I also want to give you an idea of what kind of foods you are going to be eating. So I made a course called Healing with Food, and that's filled with all kinds of recipes. I released that on Thanksgiving. I didn't have time to put it up here on YouTube, but it's available now. And it's 50% off for YouTube subscribers and for Instagram friends. So you can use the promo code INSIDER at checkout, and that'll get you 50% off of Healing with Food. When I started eating this way, I was already a nutritionist at that time, but I had to figure out how to make this work for me. And I spent the past 8 years mastering how to work with AIP diet. And I'm kind of an AIP diet whisperer at this point. So I figured out how to make healthy versions of classics. And I also figured out nutrient-dense dinner ideas that really satisfy and are filling and are delicious. So I put all of those in a library, and I also put together lessons, like cooking lessons of how to make your own dressing, how to make your own ice cream, how to make your own plantain bread, just everything that you need to replace the things that you might miss. So we can't go over all of those today, but I wanted to give you a general idea of what we're gonna be eating, what we're gonna be focusing on. So what we're gonna be focusing on while we're healing with food is we're gonna be focusing on eating lots of vegetables. So there's only a few vegetables we can't eat, and those are the nightshades. There's so many vegetables, there's hundreds of vegetables that we can eat. So we're eating vegetables, we're eating fruits, we're eating animal proteins, and that's very important. Animal proteins, beef, poultry, seafood, any protein, any animal-based protein is fantastic. We're also gonna be eating healthy fats. So healthy fats are things that come from our animal proteins. It's also things like olive oil and avocado oil and coconut oil. It's also things like avocados. Those are great. And coconut milk. That's also fantastic. We're also gonna be focusing on ferments, fermented foods. So fermented foods are things like sauerkraut and coconut yogurt. So I've got a coconut yogurt recipe here on my channel, and I also have a modified coconut yogurt recipe that I've made a little bit creamier. I had tweaked my recipe and I made it a little bit better, and I put that in the Healing with Food course. But we can also focus on just keeping it simple. We've got a healthy protein that's flavored deliciously with some kind of herbs that you like, some kind of vegetable sides, maybe 2 sides of vegetables, maybe some steamed vegetables, and maybe some mashed cauliflower. And then we've got maybe some sweet potatoes. We can roast up a sweet potato. And that's dinner. That's kind of, to give you an idea, that's kind of a dinner idea. So that's just to give you an idea. It's simple. It's a simple way of eating. If you want more details, if you want a more in-depth experience, if you want lots of recipes, that's what I created Healing with Food for. So I'm not a salesman. This isn't a sales pitch. I'm passionate about this. I really want to help people to start healing and feeling better. I feel better now than I ever have in my whole adult life. And so I created Healing with Food to help anybody who's going through autoimmune issues or any other chronic health issue to start feeling really amazing. So if you go to brendaturner.com/heal and enter the promo code INSIDER, you get 50% off of the entire course of Healing with Food. And that comes with over 25 recipes, and I'm adding to it on a constant basis. Also, I'm doing live weekly sessions for students to support you in your Q&A. So we're doing live Q&As for the next 8 weeks. We might extend that depending on how that goes. So come and join us if you want to get in on that. And if not, I'm still here for you. I'm right here for you on YouTube, and I'm still going to be offering everything that you're going to need to heal with food right here. I just wanted to offer a total and complete experience in a course offering all kinds of recipes all in one place for anybody who's like wanting to get started right away and really take their healing process super seriously. And I'll see you in a few days. I'm here for you in your healing process, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.